Have you ever wondered how our body breaks down and builds up organic molecules? Well, in this speech, I will be going over two reactions that involve water and do those very things. These reactions are known as hydrolysis and condensation. Hydrolysis is the process of breaking down a polymer. This could be in something like digestion when you eat something. And the other one is condensation. This one is the building up of a polymer from monomers. This can be taking place inside a plant, maybe, making its structures, or even inside our cells, as we do have carbohydrate markers on our blood and that kind of thing. Now, for the purposes of this video, I will be using this whiteboard to kind of help illustrate a little bit more what I am talking about. To begin, we will start by defining what you are looking at right now. The little squares, are monomers of a carbohydrate. They're not really squares, they're actually a little bit more circle shaped or like a hexagon shape. But for the purposes of this video and for the simplicity of squares, I will be using squares. Next to that is a hydroxide molecule and a hydrogen molecule. These, if you haven't already caught on, are the ones that will be making water when we bind these two together. This is known as condensation or dehydration, because you are taking water from the molecule or monomer or polymer. It's kind of very simple. We begin by having the hydrogen and the hydroxide bind together and leaving the other two monomers. After they have bound together, this is known as H2O. Since that is no longer there, stopping these two from binding, they will do that. They will bind, creating a long chain. And again, this can be kind of used for energy. Now you have long-term energy rather than a short-term energy. The other process, hydrolysis, is actually very similar to this. It's actually kind of the exact same thing, just backwards. With hydrolysis, we have to start with a polymer, so a long chain already. Think of this as your long chain, but you need to break it down. Now, for this process to even start, you do need the presence of water. Once you have water, whether that is through drinking it or it already being inside your system, the process can start. Water will bind where it's going to split the polymer, and water itself will be broken into hydrogen and hydroxide. So after it has bounded in here, it is now known as hydrogen and hydroxide, respectively. This means that the polymer has now split, and one of them will be bound to the hydrogen, and the other one will be bound to the hydroxide, splitting it. Now, these are a lot more complicated when it comes to the actual science of it and the actual biology of it. And it is not always how we break stuff up. However, as an introductory, this is actually a very helpful illustration. That is how we break and build a couple of our organic molecules within our body, known as hydrolysis and condensation. Condensation and dehydration, I like to remember by thinking of it stealing the water. So when you are dehydrated, you don't have water. So when you need to build something, but you're taking the water, it's gonna dehydrate it. And hydrolysis, I like to remember by thinking of its own separate parts. Hydro, referring to water, and lysis, referring to cutting it. I personally think that lysis sounds a little bit like slicing, so that is how it processes in my mind. The polymer is getting sliced by water. That is all I have for today. I hope you guys learned something and I hope you were entertained. Please let me know how I did, and thank you.